Good morning, good afternoon to everyone joining us today. We're just going to give it another minute or so to let other guests jump in before we get started. So just hang tight with us for just a moment and we'll kick it off. All right, we can go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us for the October Property Intel office hours. We've got the regular team here today. My name is Kelsey. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager. We have Joshua Martin, the Principal Product Manager, Zach Decker, the Product Manager, and Chris Ascalisi, the Technical Solutions Specialist. So usual gang here today. You've probably talked to or heard from one, if not all of us by this point. So we're happy to have you today. And so what we will cover today is we've got a smaller release for this month. So Joshua will briefly go over those new features that are being released this week. And then you've heard us talking about collaborative editing for quite a while now. So we will show a live demo of collaborative editing for you today. And then as usual, we will review the roadmap and what's to come, and then we will answer any questions. So any questions that you have along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat or in the Q&A, and we will address those as we can. And Joshua, if you'd like to take over to cover this month's release real quick before we jump into that collaborative editing demo.
Yeah, I'll let you leave this slide up, and then Zach's gonna screen share for the demo. But yeah, a number of things that we ended up covering this month related to the release, and so a lot of it ended up being definitely some of it internal, a number of different bugs that were fixed and things like that, and then a good portion of our time has been spent on getting collaborative editing, what we refer to internally as hardened for production. We did start the early release a couple of months ago, where we had early access and had been getting feedback from the users using that and fixing critical bugs and things that have seen with it, because it's a huge architectural change related to it. And so we've gotten a good portion of those fixed, and we're gearing up for next month to start enabling it for more organizations and start to kind of continue to slowly roll it out to where it'll be available to everybody's account. And so a good portion of that was spent on that. You can kind of see with the just fixing some of the data loss issues that we were seeing, and the way the project saves, and then also just doing a ton of exploratory bug finding to find where projects could get corrupted and what how we needed to handle those and better handle those. As well, from that, we also had a couple of things that a number of you probably experienced. There was a release related to from Aspire that ended up breaking the estimate creation flow. So being able to create a property intel project from an Aspire estimate. So we were able to get that fixed. A few things from our legend tool that we released last month. We had to we saw some little escape bugs related to it, with the items disappearing in some different kind of edge case scenarios. And then fixed an issue with our rotation page. So a number of other things that we did as well. Been working through, like I said, just a lot of little small things that ended up having to have just some general improvements around last month. Reference map PDFs where there was an issue that crept in, where a lot of blank pages for whatever reason were getting added and to those generated PDFs. And so we did get that resolved, and we're able to kind of get that bug shipped out last week. So our release notes will kind of have the full list of everything that we end up resolving related to that. And so be sure to check that out once we get those published later this week, if you have any questions related to that. So So kind of, yeah, moving from that, I think what we wanted to do, because we've, like Kelsey mentioned, we've talked a lot about collaborative editing. Some of you may have experienced it as well within your companies if you had some of that early access. But what we want to do is kind of show you and demo for you what that looks like, so you can kind of get an idea of what this feature is, as it'll be coming to you soon into your account here over just Q4, as we kind of just slowly roll it out, making sure that we've done our due diligence to not impact you in your workflows in a major way. So so with that, I think Zach's going to share his screen, and we'll kind of give you a quick idea of what collaborative editing looks like.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Joshua. Yeah, Joshua, if you want to hop into this October collaborative editing example project I just made. Chris, I also sent you the link to it. I think you saw that it was in that Slack channel. If you want to jump into it as well.
Sure.
So we can have kind of the three of us there. I guess, Joshua, if you want to measure turf, I can do some edging, and then maybe Chris, if you want to do pavement or sandy, yeah, pick something.
Okay.
And we can kind of see it populate on screen. So as they're drawing, you'll see their mouse kind of move around the screen, and it's not going to populate until they actually complete the drawing. So before I start drawing, we can watch kind of Joshua's turf area populate down here. Yeah, and so as soon as he finishes it, it's gonna pop up here. And then I could go in with, my edging here, and I could use snap to edges to allow me to quickly kind of trace what they have.
Yeah, so a lot of the stuff, like, you kind of see how you can work multiple users at the same time, being able to work and move, see each other's mouse moving around the page, and kind of get an idea of where people are working in the project makes it really useful as well. Even if you don't need to necessarily measure at the same time, but if you needed to be in the project, kind of collaborating on it, talking about it, discussing it, then you can do that and have a good way to kind of present with each other within the office to look at issues and be able to work together to solve issues. A couple of things. I think one of the also like major changes related to this is our undo history. And that's probably been one of the areas where we've seen a lot of the issues needing to get fixed around data corruption, because it was just such a large change. But there are multiple people working in the project, but the undo history related to it is tied to you as an individual user. So so while I may be working and drawing, and Zach and Chris are both doing it at the same time, I can hit undo, and it will just undo my changes versus impacting anything that they're doing. So there are a number of improvements really related to the undo history that are just some nice gains related to the project itself. So, but yeah, it's kind of that's I mean, I think generally it's in some ways it's not all that flashy, but we think it's pretty cool, a pretty huge improvement for the application. And especially if you're used to working with multiple folks within your company, getting that pop up that somebody else is working in the project and they have the lock on it, and you either having to ask them to get out of the project, or you take the lock from them, and not being able to work together at the same time. So it's a huge improvement to be able to have that, and truly kind of, I think, really leverage the power of a web application and the power of the cloud being able to work together at the same time. And whether that's doing large projects together so that you can get those done faster, or like I said, if it's just collaborating on project planning or design or whatever that may be within it. It's a huge improvement.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. It looks, I mean, since the last time I saw it, it looks like even just the performance of it is better. So this is really exciting and it's looking really clean and smooth. And it's exciting that we'll get to roll this out to more companies soon.
Yep.
Zach, if you don't mind stopping your screen share, thank you. And I will take back over so we can wrap up here. And Joshua, I will give you the roadmap.
Yep. Good deal. Well, you know, so I think you can kind of see the things that we have completed from the time to the left hand side there as we're working through, and then kind of what we're actually getting into here coming up for Q4 are those PDF takeoff automations and additional drawing tools. So those two things are going to be our focus from here through which would be through January really, because that's kind of how we count it within Service Titan. But we'll be moving from PDF takeoff automations into those additional drawing tools. And so our focus with PDF takeoff automations is really kind of giving you just really practical tools that leverage AI, leverage OCR, a number of different techniques to be able to make it just faster to do PDF takeoffs. And that's really everything from project setup. And so one of our big goals is being able to ship a tool that allows you to auto create your item list based off of the plant legend that exists on that PDF, and just a big, I think, time efficiency gain for estimators that are working on PDFs. And so that's a big focus. And then from there, really focusing in on, like I said, leveraging AI to help you just do it more efficiently. It's in terms of like a fully automated takeoff, I think that's going to be further down the road as we continue rolling out these tools. But the efficiency of being able to search images and count plant symbols that look alike, to be able to search by text and convert that into counts. And even being able to snap and kind of auto detect various shapes on the page so that you can kind of speed up area drawing, that sort of stuff. And so our team, we're getting into it kind of wholeheartedly this week, and so you'll start to see related to that being released as soon as this month, or excuse me, next month in November, where you'll start to see some of those features coming out. And so that effort really does kind of blend into some of the additional drawing tools, because there'll be things that are related to that, the techniques that we're using that will improve the drawing tools. But then also there are a number of other drawing tools. One of the most popular ones that I say two that have been requested a lot, we've seen a lot of ideas around it, and we've had it also in our backlog for a long time now, is one kind of being like a hedge drawing tool, where you can be able to place like a shrub X along a straight line, just kind of by clicking on one end and clicking on the other and automatically placing those. And that applies to areas as well, being able to outline the area and place the actual object count symbols. And then also a path drawing tool, to where you're able to draw an area just by more or less drawing a line. So very common scenario related to that is within maintenance takeoffs, having to measure, say, like 10-foot back a curb. And today it's a fairly tedious process to if you want it to be exact, or you're kind of using our quick measure guides to be able to place 10 foot and kind of work through the back of the curb. But what the path tool will allow you to do is be able to set that width to 10 feet of that area, and just simply draw the straight line and being able to, and then complete and have that area drawn. So again, a number of things really where we're just delivering value to helping you do more with less, and be able to be more and more efficient at the job that you do. So and then after that, I mean, really we're talking about, with reference maps, mobile, and map metadata, we're talking about early next year as we'll be getting into those features and releasing them. The same with user permissions, and then getting closer probably towards mid-year with image editing and the property dashboard, as we're kind of planning those feature functionality out. Even now, as we're looking at it and scoping out what we want to do around those features. So I'm really excited. I think that this is heading into Q4 here. We just got a couple more days left in October, and heading into even holiday season. So we hope to deliver a lot of gifts with PDF automations, because it'll be a lot of huge features that'll be coming in here at the end of the year. So we're definitely not backing up or slowing down in terms of what we're shipping and delivering for you as our customers as the year starts to come to a close. Yeah, that's a kind of a quick overview of the roadmap we have coming up, and I think Q&A is next, right, Kelsey?
Yep. Yeah, thanks, Joshua. We do not have anything yet in the Q&A or the chat, so I'll give it just another few seconds here while we finish wrapping up. So just again, thank you everybody for joining us today. We look forward to sharing these monthly releases and what's to come with you every month. So be on the lookout for the insider email coming on Thursday with the link to the more detailed release notes. We'll post a recording of this webinar in the resource center, and I'll send it out via email today once it's uploaded to YouTube. And yeah, in the meantime, just you have our contact information, you have your support tickets. Feel free if you're having any issues or have any great ideas for what we can continue adding to Property Intel to make it better for you. Please feel free to communicate with us, and we love to hear from you. So looks like we still don't have anything today, so we will go ahead and wrap it up. We look forward to seeing you in November. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, everybody.